I'm the co-founder CEO of exe.dev. Before that, I was the co-founder CTO of Tailscale. Exe is a cloud. It's a cloud for you and your agents to run as many VMs as you need to get things done. And tonight, I want to talk about a thing we have identified that has changed both in the way we use software and we suspect in the way everyone uses software soon, that I don't think anyone is really ready for yet or anyone has really figured out how to deal with yet, which is my favorite sort of thing to throw over the wall at a conference and then let people figure out for themselves. So in particular, I want to talk about personalizing software. And this is not a new idea, and I suspect we could ask the audience, have you ever configured your text editor? Have you ever set the font sizes or gone into the config file and come up with some custom thing to do? Raise your hand if configuration has been a part of your life. Yeah, like half of you. I get it. I get it because I've had years when I've had very custom configured environments and I throw them all away and I go back to whatever defaults I get out of my software. But we've always had a lot of configuration. That's over. We're not going to have that anymore. We're not going to have that anymore because we're not going to learn how config files work and what options there are in our software. You can now trivially edit the software you use every day. And you can do this in a really obvious way using these things that we're here to talk about tonight. It's a process that if you try and do it and ship it as very professional, serious software, takes a lot of effort, but if you just want to hack it up and use it yourself, you can just type in a sentence and something pops out. And this is true of all software that's open source. And that's a very important point I'm going to come to. But this, just to give you an example, whoa, that's bright. Sorry, everyone. I'll get this off the screen quickly. This is Shelly. This is a coding harness. I'm going to change screens right now. It's the coding harness I use, but everything I'm going to talk about tonight just applies to agents in all shapes and forms and software in all shapes and forms. You can do this to everything. You can take all of the programs you use that are open source and adjust them to fit your environment. And to do that, you need to give them two prompts to an agent sitting next to the program. Or if the program itself is the agent, you just give it to itself. You just tell it, look, go grab the software, download it, build it, put it somewhere, modify it to do something, and then record a record somewhere about what we did, if your agent doesn't already have machinery to do that. The second prompt, and this is the most important part, and this is the thing that has changed in Model's abilities in the last 3 months that makes this all work, is you ask it to set up a nightly cron job, just a systemd timer or something, and you tell it, go download the latest version of the program and rebase all of your changes on top. And this works, which is astonishing. Like last year, it did not work. Models were great back then. You could write code with them. You couldn't get them to reliably handle merge conflicts and figure this stuff out. Now you can. And so now you can just edit any program you want just with these two prompts. You just say this one once, and then after that, you just start feeding in the changes you want to make. And you can not only do this to all of the software you use, I'll get to this slide in a second, but you can do it to all of the software your team uses. And you as an internal tools team can go and carefully customize the environment your team operates in. And that's where it starts to get really powerful. Like, it's all fun and games to mess around with your own personal environment, but it's taking the environment of your team and optimizing it for the work you do that's kind of magical. And with a couple of hours work, you can also build this into your product. So we actually built this into our coding harness, Shelly, so that if you ask it to change itself, and again, I'm sorry about the brightness, the automatic upgrader that sits in the corner that runs every night actually detects the customizations on top and automatically handles the rebasing machinery for you. Let me get that off the screen because it's too bright. And this is very easy to do and can be done to all software. You could do this in theory to the Chrome running on your computer. You can't in practice because Chrome is open source. To an extent, Chromium is open source, and then Google add a bunch of stuff in Chrome, so you can't actually easily recompile it. But you can literally ask it to download Chromium and adjust your web browser to do something different for you, and then keep it up to date. And it works. It's really quite astonishing. And when you start doing this, and you start saying go grab Codex and make this change that I really want to see in Codex, or go grab Pi and make this change I want to see in it, or go grab Claude Code and make this, that one doesn't work because it's not open source. You start to ask yourself, why am I using these not open tools that I can't personalize? And this is where it gets really sticky, and we have a problem we haven't figured out, because huge numbers of the things we use are not open source. And Why would your customers choose your unpersonalizable software over a competitor they can personalize? And I think this is the challenge we're going to face. Like the payroll software I use, I like it because it successfully makes payroll and it gets all the numbers correct. I really appreciate that. It understands all 50 states and all the complexity around it. But they have the worst web interface ever. And I would love to just customize up my own. All I need is an API. The first payroll company that gives me the API is the payroll company I will switch to and use in the future. I really don't want to customize the software that does the per state calculations and all the machinery there. I very much want that API separation. I want to pay them to solve that problem. But I do want to be able to get at my software in a way that works for me. And so that's what you can do. You can do it today with Shelly, which is the agent harness we ship inside every exe.VM. You can just say, make it pink, and it changes the color scheme of the entire harness to make it pink, if that's what you like. You can do all sorts of things. And we customize it with buttons to run our CI and all that sort of stuff. So I recommend doing this because it's well, for you personally, it's fun. For your team, it brings a lot of productivity. And you should think about the products you build and how to solve this problem in that space. And they asked me to keep it to 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes. Thank you very much.